Friends! Crazy to think, but I think the bank likes Angela's job, her title, and what she brings in per year, because it seems we have met all of the requirements to be approved, I think, for financing to build a garage, to move this shed from where it's at and in its place, a 24 by 24 garage. I'll be honest with you, at this point in my life, I'm so used to things falling through and not working out, I didn't expect this to happen. So I've done very little to prepare for it, and in a day, I've learned a lot. The dream storage garage situation, of course, is a massive giant warehouse, but wouldn't you know it, when you live in a residential area, they don't let you build things that big. Some of the parameters that I'm working around here is to keep costs down and stay within the bylaws is the square footage of the footing, like the slab itself, needs to stay under 600 square feet so that there's not a bunch of additional cost to do an engineered slab. Most people go 24 by 24, and that keeps you under that 600 square foot maximum before you need to spend double, triple the amount on your slab. 2, for this residentially zoned area that I live in, the maximum peak top, tippy top height that I'm allowed to touch is 15 feet. Now, as most of you are aware, one of the main priorities, besides having a bigger space for video production, kind of holding everything that I've acquired over the years, is to have a space that will allow myself and my friends during the winter, even maybe during some of the hotter days of the summer, to be able to ride our BMXs on like a mini ramp in there. If you're gonna do that, you wanna maximize ceiling height. So that 15-foot maximum peak height limit that's in this residential zone certainly adds a design challenge, but it's something that I have been working on. And I've sketched out to scale 3 designs that I'm not entirely sure which one to go with and submit to the permit office to get approved. So I figured, why not make it even more difficult and confusing by showing it to this YouTube audience that I have and getting everybody's different opinions on what they think so that I can mull it over and be even more confused by the end of, I don't know, the month. Who knows? So design 1, no surprise really, it's as traditional as it gets. 24 by 24, 16-foot wide garage door, 7 foot tall, with a 4 by 12 pitched roof. What that does is give me an 11-foot ceiling, but you have to take into account the foundation, which I think we can solve by doing, this is a cross section, and this is kind of what's going to happen for all of them, is by doing the slab at grade and then doing an 8-inch curb so that you don't have water problems and the frame actually gets built onto the curb. So that way I at least get my as close to 11-foot ceiling height as possible. So this design is kind of what like just about every garage in this entire neighborhood, and honestly across Nova Scotia, would be. It's simple, it's what a lot of people build, it's what a lot of people are comfortable with. But I feel like the ceiling height is a bit limiting, especially if we want to ride bikes in there. I think it's doable. Honestly, this is probably going to be what we end up building because it'll probably be the least expensive and it'll be the easiest to get approved and it'll be the easiest to go with. But because we're just at design phase right now, I don't want to just settle on this if I can get something else to work. I wanted to gain an extra like 2 feet of ceiling height by doing an even lower pitch roof, like a 2 by 12 roof, like honestly, almost flat. And this to scale is what that would look like. It almost looks like a barn, which I don't know that I love, but I do love the thought of working around and getting 13-foot ceilings across the board. I guess to do this, the biggest thing is like, okay, what do we need to do to make sure that the snow buildup and the water gets off of it correctly? But like, I'm pretty sure it could be done. Like, I don't think this wouldn't get approved. It it just might look a little funny in the yard, or they'll say, no, you can't do anything lower pitch than 4/12, which would be annoying, but... Now, the third option that I've drawn was proposed by my friend Dave, who actually builds things for a living under his company, Graham and Butler, to do, like, why don't you try and do, like, a shed-style garage, meaning single slope, not like a pitch, just single slope, very modern-looking garage. So this would be one of those, like, crazy modern structures that you see on, I don't know, Pinterest constantly, but it could be a decent option to get as much ceiling height as possible without having to do like a crazy low pitch roof that maybe the province isn't going to like, maybe engineers aren't going to like, but it would look cool. It's maybe not necessarily going to match the house or anything else in the neighborhood really, but it would very much serve its purpose. So on this side where the ramp would be, that's a 13-ish foot wall. And then halfway, like where the ramp kind of ends at 12 feet, you've got a 12-foot ceiling height. So you've got between 12 and 13 feet for the entire riding area. And then video production area, which is over here with an 8-foot garage door, would also be more than enough ceiling height for everything I do. I'm like a little bit keen on this idea because I think it looks cool, but like how long will that trend actually stay? And if we ever decided to sell the house, you know, is having a really modern shed style garage without a big door in the backyard of a house that's not designed that way, is it going to be a hindrance, or is like that would be a very, very specific build for what it is I want to do. I'm like conflicted with what to do. I don't know how else to put it. I think the biggest thing I need to do is realize that literally anything that gets built is an upgrade from what is here now. It's just my ambitions sometimes very much outshine what is truly possible. So there you go, future Eric, who's coming back to reference these old videos. This was the beginning of the dream that you wanted when you and Angela bought a house. You wanted to build a garage later. It seems like it's starting now. Which one is it going to be?